Omni-Man kicks ass.
Please.
What will you have after 500 years?
From his design, to his voice, to his general aura, there should be no question as to why he's one of Invincible's most popular characters. But outside of all those things, we have his characterization and personality, that being of a father. His relationship with Mark, the expectations he placed on him, and their eventual conflict, which leads to his change of heart, drive his character going forward. And it helps that he feels like a dad, not just in his design, performance, and story, but in his personality. When he's not busting heads like grapes, he has this disarming, friendly demeanor about him. That, combined with his immense strength and our audience's knowledge about him, leads to that friendliness still inviting a bit of intimidation. Not like he's hiding murderous desire, but that he knows he's strong enough to get what he wants. It's a demeanor that changes as the story progresses. He becomes more vulnerable and has a change of heart, yet he still keeps up that friendly vibe. Only this time he's all in on it, not hiding any dark intent. And it's only after his conflict with Mark that he changes in this way. This is how I feel a lot of dads act in the real world, and it makes Omni-Man a much more compelling character. That's what I want to talk about today. Characters that aren't just written realistically, but have realistic personalities. The kind that feel like real people. I didn't record a transition, so now we're going to talk about Dandadan. Yay!
You're gonna get such an ass whooping. No one hits Momo!
Dandadan's main cast embodies this extremely well. In comparison to a lot of shonen, these characters actually feel like high school kids. Their designs, the way they act and talk, and how they navigate their relationships feels very realistic. Okarun is the classic nerd, but the series doesn't make that into a one-note character trait of his. It actually goes into detail and shows how his social anxiety affects him and his ability to form relationships. Every awkward thing this awkward guy does to grow closer to Momo shows a genuine desire for love and companionship, but it also ends up showing his care for Momo as a person. Gigi is initially introduced as a threat to Okarun's relationship with Momo, but Dandadan quickly subverts this by making Gigi a lovable goofball. This means that even if Gigi makes him feel insecure at times, it's Gigi's genuine kindness that helps him push those feelings aside, so he can focus on what really matters to him, protecting his friends. It's a more realistic portrayal of how an anxious and awkward person thinks, and that it feels more real than other versions of classic nerd archetypes. You know, I wish I had more to say about Momo here, because I really do like her, but there just isn't that much that specifically comes to mind when thinking about her. Unlike a certain dinosaur girl.
Your entire aura is viral overload!
I have a fantastic aura. Jeff, don't I have a good aura?
A great aura.
I have a
Susie, leave the man's aura alone.
Susie may just be my favorite Deltarune character of them all. It's honestly steep competition, especially among the fun gang, but Susie feels the most interesting. Despite being in the prophecy, she feels disconnected from the greater plot compared to the other main characters, but that's exactly what makes her so compelling. She feels out of place but carves her own path forward anyway, sometimes feeling more like the main character than our actual main character. And her characterization helps with that. I'm gonna get a bit personal here, but I've met some people who I see in Susie. People who clearly had a rough time growing up for one reason or another and struggle with that on a daily basis. People who have been through more than I ever have and deal with more than me as well. And despite that pain, they've come out on the other side as some of the kindest, strongest, and best friends I've ever had. Susie's tough persona she's had to put up through the pain is slowly chipped away as time goes on. Not through pain, but through kindness. Her friendship with Chris and Rouse, her relationship with Noelle, the advice she gives to others, and the way Gerson inspires her, it all helps her become the person she really wants to be deep down. A kind and caring friend who will do anything she can to protect those close to her.
Damn it. Hey, Luffy. What kind of man do you want on your crew? An unreliable dreamer like me, who's afraid of his own power, who's helpless every time he faces a woman? Or a warrior of science who can beat up a monster like this without a second thought, who has a heart of ice and a will of steel that never fails? Which would be more useful to the King of the Pirates?
Sanji doesn't really fit in with the other three. They all had realistic personalities and relatable struggles that made them feel like real people, while Sanji is a goofy cartoon anime man. But Sanji ties this whole video together with one of the core themes of his character, that being, should you sacrifice yourself to achieve strength? All of the Straw Hats have vices and likes, but Sanji's get in the way of his combat more than anyone else if you ask me. His dedication to the craft of cooking leaves him without two of his limbs, and his love of women actively handicaps him in fights. He's had to be bailed out twice by his female crewmates because he refuses to fight these characters who he could quite easily take care of. However, these traits are generally seen as good for him to have. I mean, they can only escape Big Mom's wrath because of his cooking skill and genuine love of pudding. And in Wano, Sanji gets faced with this conundrum yet again with the raid suit. Here, Sanji wonders if Luffy would prefer the regular him or the stronger yet mindless version of him. Ultimately, he chooses the former and defeats Queen, soundly deciding he doesn't need to sacrifice his sense of self, right? If I can't defend his performance on Egghead, I can at least attach meaning to it. All of the Straw Hats will have to get stronger on Elbaf, but for Luffy and Zoro, it's more in the mindset side of things. Sanji just genuinely couldn't step up to the plate. Assuming Oda isn't just fumbling with him here, I think this is supposed to be a low point for Sanji, a moment where he thinks maybe he should have taken the Germa power. And I believe in Elbaf he will find the answer to be a resounding no. Sanji's greatest path to strength isn't conforming to some idea of strength imposed on him, but by achieving his fullest version of himself. One who holds his passion for cooking and women and draws strength from them. Yeah, he may have the daddy Germa genes, but being himself will make him as strong as he ever could be. And that's really what I want to highlight with this video. The reason why all these characters stick out to me is because they show ways for different kinds of real people I've met to be strong, accomplished individuals. That the path to a stronger version of yourself isn't one laid out by someone else, but a matter of finding your own unique path forward. I think it's called self-actualization, I don't know. Sure, you're going to have to change along the way, but it's not to make you into someone else, it's more to make you into the truest, most genuine version of you. And I think that's really cool. I mean, it's not the most original idea, but it spoke to me and I wanted to express it. Thank you guys so much for watching the Server Blight video, and a special thanks to 2 Idiot Germans for reposting it. I'm really glad that they enjoyed my take on the video, and I'm also glad that everybody else enjoyed it as well. I might not have the most regular schedule for videos yet, but I do want to keep making them, and I do have some more in the back. I do have some more planned. It just depends on what I get ideas for. So thank you all so much, and I'll see you in the next one.